So today we'll be discussing tactics to tackle misinformation, um, some ways that we can um, combat misinformation in this day and age. Moving to slide one. So what is misinformation? This is false or misleading information that is spread around with the intent to deceive or manipulate people. Misinformation can be spread very easily. Um, Around our community and around the world through many different ways like social media or by word of mouth, people talking in certain groups. Um, it can be spread very, very easily today. Importance of combating misinformation. Some things that are important are protecting the public trust, preventing harm, and preserving democratic processes. If we look on the right over here, this right graph, you can see that fake news can be perceived in various ways. People might think it's funny. Some people might don't know too much about it. Some people might say they agree, even though this is false information, and some people might find it interesting. Moving on to slide two, fact checking. One of the ways that we can combat it is by finding out if this is actually real, by doing our due diligence, by finding the facts. So, establishing some fact checking steps, we can create websites or tools that help fact check the accuracy of certain claims that are being said. Um, we can also learn to teach individuals to verify their information and to always check their sources. You never know what sources are going to be real or not, so always check your sources to see how credible they are. Next is encouraging media understanding. So, giving online or in person classes on this topic. So, any classes or anything can be given to people so they can learn more about it. Provide resources to debunk false claims or statements that are being made or said. Understanding these social media platforms are what we tend to use today, and we should understand how complex the algorithms of these platforms work. Next is create awareness campaigns, so raising awareness for those who are impacted by misinformation. During these sessions, we can provide step by step instructions on how to check our sources. And the graphic on the right is just a bunch of little tips that can help you spot fake news. Um, Moving on to content moderation, another way to combat misinformation um, is to moderate the content that's being put out there. So, implementing content moderation policies. You can develop community guidelines and standards for acceptable content that can be posted versus content that can't be posted. Just two examples that I wanted to bring up. One is Twitter. Twitter, you see this graphic on the top. They have a way of their AI uses a thing called community notes. So, for example, if you were to post something on Twitter, um, and the AI deems that it's not right information, it will get community noted like this post right here, and it'll just give the user some more information or some context about what's actually being said here. Um, and then on the bottom is Instagram. This is for any sensitive content or graphic content that maybe Instagram wants to protect the user from being seen, and they use this graphic right here. If you click see photo, you can end up seeing the photo, but it allows the user to see what they want, if they want to see it or if they don't. So setting up AI or human moderators. oop, Um, and we also need to understand that AI is not completely accurate. Label or remove misinformation, label false or misleading content to provide context for users, remove content that violates community standards or legal regulations, and also to promote transparency and the communities of moderation. So communicating the policies that these platforms have and allow the user to appeal any decisions. So if something gets taken down, the user can appeal it. And going off that last point, more so with transparency and accountability, you want to encourage online sources and organizations to be more open about their policies and their ideas of misinformation. Um, we must hold big companies like YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, these bigger companies and organizations to be accountable of spreading misinformation, um, and enforce consequences for spreading false information, such as penalties or loss of credibility. Labeling specific content that has been fact checked and indicating that this is accurate information so that people understand and people know that this is accurate stuff that's being put out there. So it should be labeled. And it's important to have community engagement. So this provides a way for the community um, and individuals to become more active participants in combating misinformation.